My dream is a lube on every nightstand. Like when I die, if they were like, she got everyone to use lube, that would be amazing.
Somebody got to cue me or do I cue myself?
Cue yourself.
Okay. Oh, we are fired up, everybody. Let's get it on. Oh, yeah. On today's episode of Let's Talk Off Camera, we are talking, say it with me, sex. Oh, my gosh. Guys, say it with a little gusto. Sex. No question is too wild, too weird, or too wonderful, or too taboo, or too anything. Insert answer here. See how I work the word insert in there, Jan? Aren't you proud of me? Now, when SiriusXM told me I was going to have the 5 p.m. drive time hour on the radio, what did I say?
Yeah.
What did I say?
You said it had to be about sex.
Yeah, I said we have to do an episode about sex because that is the drive time hour topic that I remember as a kid sitting in the car with my mom coming home from whatever activity that we were in. So if you have littles in the car, let them watch their iPads that they're already watching. Okay. Mm-hmm. Put their little headphones on and let them drift away. You know, I don't really advocate for tablets and devices in children's hands, but today we're going to make an exception. Okay. And maybe, just maybe, we'll get you a little turned on before you return home today and spice it up for Mr. or Mrs. or whatever's waiting at home for you. Okay? Now, I'm not talking about myself as the expert here, Jan. Neither are you. You're not an expert. Albert, you are certainly no expert, and neither am I. But we do have an expert. We have Dr. Emily Morse. She is here today. Oh, my gosh. She's an expert in human sexuality and the author of, it's such a good book, Smart Sex, How to Boost Your Sex IQ and Own Your Pleasure. And she's not the only one with a podcast, Jan. She has her own podcast called, why didn't we name our podcast this? Sex with Emily. That is a best-selling podcast, Sex with Emily. She's here. She's going to tackle all of your burning questions and deepest curiosities about intimacy, desire, and yes, of course, sex. Emily, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Before we begin, I've got my trusty sidekicks here. I've got Albert, Jan, and Seth. Do any of you have the courage to ask Emily a question?
Sure.
Okay, Albert. Wow.
Hey, let's go.
Emily, I have a big question, which a lot of people bring up all the time.
How big?
What about, and I'm going to go right for it, porn. Are there rules for porn? Like, what is the story about porn and sex and the use of it?
Okay. Great question. Common question. Here's the thing about porn. Everyone gets to make their own decision about porn. Now, porn can be really titillating if you're in a relationship. Watch it together. Find something new to turn you on. But when porn becomes a problem is when it's a requirement for you to get aroused, or when young people get their hands on porn, they're like, isn't that how sex happens? They're going to bring 3 friends every time, watching. So porn without sex education is a disaster. But in a relationship, if it's consensual and you guys find something together you want to watch, I'm all for it.
Does Kyle watch Forward Space as porn?
Yes, he does.
Exercise that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But do you think it's a big problem for like the younger people who are on their devices all the time? That
I do.
Because a regular relationship can never live up to that, right?
Yeah, I think it is a problem. I think the changes I've seen in the 20 years since I've been doing Sex with Emily podcast is that now since the smartphones, porn has been available in our pocket for about 15 years right now. And then the young kids who grew up on it are thinking, well, this is how sex happens, right? This must be sex because I don't really, so we're like, oh, it's great. There's so much information available. But again, porn without sex education is a disaster. It's like learning to drive, but by watching Fast and the Furious. Like that's
I was just going to use almost that exact same scenario. I always say like porn without sex education is like watching King Kong and thinking you know something about apes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like that is the same.
Yes.
It's like no, that is not what intimacy looks like.
Yeah.
Jan.
Okay, so I have a question. How important is it for couples to actually talk about sex? Because, sorry, Glenn, we just don't do that. So I'm just curious, like, what's the importance to it?
Oh God, it's the most important thing you can do. I always say communication is a lubrication, and the more couples talk about sex, the better sex they're going to have. But couples don't talk about sex because they think it should be natural. Sex should always be wonderful, but great sex is learned, and communication is the foreplay.
So by communicate, do you mean as communication, do you mean a sit down, face to face, one-on-one discussion, or can Jan send Glenn a picture of her underpants at work and say, hey?
See, that's different than talking about it, though.
Oh, right. Okay. Got
That's
it.
a little
you
bit
want
of
actual words.
I want words. No one taught us how to talk about it because most of us grew up in homes where sex wasn't openly discussed. So we carry a lot of shame, a lot of fear or embarrassment. And that goes into adulthood, or we're afraid of rejection. We're like, if I bring up sex with my partner, what if I say the wrong thing? What if they judge me? What if I hurt their feelings? Or then we assume our partner should just know what I want. They should be a mind reader, right? But again, great sex requires communication, not guesswork. And so we sit down with our partner and say, you know what? And this is, again, I always say I have 3 T's for any communication about sex: timing, turf, and tone. You got to pick a time when you are chilling, you're not hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. The tone is curious and compassionate. It's not like, why don't we ever have sex? Or how come you don't initiate anymore? And then finally, the turf is outside the bedroom. You want to do it when you're on date night. You're going for a walk and you say, you know what? I always say, blame me. Blame Kelly now. You were listening to a show and you said, you know what? I realize we've been together for a long time, but we've never actually talked about our sex life in a way that, like, how's it going? Is there anything you want to try? What do you think about it? And then you do it in a casual, compassionate, curious way. And that's how we have the conversations.
By turf, I thought Emily meant do it on turf instead of yard.
Well, whatever turns you on.
Wait, the phone lines are blowing up. I feel like we should take a call.
Wait, they're blowing up already?
I feel like we should take one call.
But what about Seth? Does Seth have a question?
For real? Can I?
Yeah. Get in there.
Oh boy. Multiple orgasms? Female and male?
Yes, more likely, more common for women, for females. It is common. In fact, most women can have multiple orgasms. They just don't know it's possible or know how. So it's very common for women. It's a learned skill, but we are ready. Our refractory period is a lot less than men. Men's a little bit harder, meaning the time it takes to go from one orgasm to the next orgasm. But yes, it's possible for everybody.
Also, I think it's the age of the man too. It's Seth.
So like in your 20s. Yeah, right, no problem.
Exactly. So I'm like looking at Seth. I'm like, Seth, are you asking for yourself? Because I'm very impressed right now.
Your friends were asking you questions about orgasms? Texting you?
Yes. No. So I had a lot of friends who are now texting me questions because they don't want to be, as if people can identify them by their voices. They don't want to be identified. But I had a lot of people texting me the same question. What percentage of women orgasm during sex?
Yeah, great question. So during penetration, only about 30% of women, 25 to 30% of women will have an orgasm through penetration. And so that means 70% of women will not have an orgasm from anything to do with the penis. Sorry, guys, has nothing to do with you or your shape of your penis. It just has to do with women require foreplay. And usually how they're going to have their orgasm is from a finger, a mouth, toys, and it's just not going to happen during sex.
Is part of that because it takes women longer than men to orgasm?
Yeah, it's because there's something called the orgasm gap, and men typically take about 7 to 10 minutes to orgasm, and women can take from 20 to 40 minutes to orgasm. The orgasm is also exists because men are going to orgasm in about 99.9% of every sexual situation, and women are not. So yes, it does take women a little bit longer. We require foreplay, but it's not even that. For some women, most of the magic happens with warming up their clitoris. They're playing with their vulva externally. So really, for some women, they just won't be able to, but having an orgasm first can help. So through oral sex or any kind of clitoral stimulation, and they have an orgasm, once that area becomes aroused and internally it becomes more engorged, so they might be more like the blood rushes in and it might be more likely to have an orgasm through a penis. But again, for the majority of women, it's just not going to happen that way. But there's many other ways to play.
I had another question when you brought up oral sex. Another text question to me was how do you teach your partner to perform? If you're a woman, how do you teach your partner to perform oral sex on you?
Yeah, so you just want to show them what you like. So what is a really fun thing to do? It's a little bit of show and tell. And so again, I love that you're asking this question, because sometimes we don't want to even give any feedback because we think our partner's going to take it as criticism, like they're doing something wrong and they feel bad about themselves. But when you're sitting there together, you can say, let me show you the areas that feel good. Let me show you how I like to be touched. And in fact, Kelly, one a great precursor to that is mutual masturbation. It's one of my top tips for couples, where you're lying side by side and you're both touching yourselves. And I love this because you're watching and you're thinking, oh, I didn't realize that when you're touching yourself, you put your finger inside or you massage your vulva in this way. And then your partner's learning, this is where your hot spots are. This is how you want to be touched. So I think showing them, and something like mutual masturbation is a really great way to show them what you like.
Okay, we have so many calls right now. Like it's blowing up in an insane way. We never take calls this early in the show, but we simply must. Okay, who's first?
We've got Sam in Chicago.
Sam in Chicago, you're on with Dr. Emily.
Oh, wow. Hi. I'm excited to be talking to Kelly as well.
Hi.
This is crazy.
Hi.
So I'm a single mom, and my kids are at an age that I can finally I have a little bit more time to go out there and date. So it's just been, it's been a while. And I'm also older now. I'm almost 50. And I just don't know how, and my body just feels like just attraction. Everything has kind of shifted and changed. So I just don't know, like women in their early 50s, like that change in life. I don't know if you have any tips,
Yeah.
I feel like my body's changed. So things are just very different. So it'll just be interesting, being out.
No, I get it. Thank you for the question. Here's the thing. It does. Our bodies change every decade, sometimes every month, every week, and we're always changing, right?
Every 10 minutes.
Literally. It's true. So first I want to say I love that you want to get back out there again, and also, the most important thing is to really start with what makes yourself feel good. So usually I always say we got to keep our own pilot light lit. So having your own masturbation routine and self-love routine, and I'm wondering what that might feel like to you now, just to make sure that you're comfortable in your own body, giving yourself an orgasm, taking a mirror and seeing what's going on down there. Because yes, our bodies do change, but it's still possible to give ourselves pleasure and to get more comfortable in our bodies. And so that would be my first step for you, is to kind of bring your own sexual energy back, rather than waiting for someone else to bring that to you. So is that something you'd be comfortable with to start?
Naturally I'm good in that.
You got it. Okay, perfect.
Good. That's good.
So also, I think the great thing about being older and being in your 50s is you actually do know your even if it's changed, you still kind of know what you like. It's a great time of life. You've had enough years in this body. So I think it's more about just having the confidence to go out there and then have these conversations. I don't know about you, but in my 50s, I'm like, we don't put up with any more bullshit. We're not saying yes when we mean no. So really having your eyes open and finding a partner who wants to please you, who's, in it for pleasure, who knows that she comes first, who knows that how to please you. And if they don't, you get to show them, right? I don't know about you. I spent a lot of time in my 20s just, having sex that I thought was what my partner wanted, that was more performative. And these later decades have been about, my own pleasure. And I'm telling you, that works every time.
And also, wouldn't you agree, Dr. Emily, that for Sam, it's probably more in her head? Like Sam, trust me when you say like my skin, my body, like I so feel that, and I hear you. Like I am like, I want you to know you are being heard.
Yeah.
But from my perspective and knowing the adult men that I know who are straight, that is not a factor for them. Like that is so not a factor.
Right. No, Sam, that is the thing that they're really, to that point, I get it, that insecurity. They're going to be looking at this thing. They're going to be looking at this change in my body. It doesn't look like the way it used to. They are so happy to be having sex with you and they're so thrilled and turned on. They are not looking at what we think they're looking at. They're like, there's so much time we spend in our day, right, worried about like, oh, my left boob is bigger than my right boob. They're not noticing. Like they're turned on. They're excited to be having sex and you are this, hot commodity and they're hot woman and they're excited to be with you. So it is, a lot of it is in our heads. How great is that?
Yeah.
That like our worries are just remembering that you are deserving of pleasure.
Yeah. I didn't know if also like estrogen or if there's any like hormonal stuff that just kind of physically, because our bodies kind of, I don't know if you answer questions like,
yeah.
Or if that's,
menopause is huge. Perimenopause, menopause. I'm a huge fan of estrogen because the truth is we can have vaginal pain at this time, but it's simply because the loss of estrogen causes our vaginal walls to thin out and we're a little less dry. So number one, have a lube on your nightstand. Like my dream is a lube on every nightstand. Like when I die, if they were like, she got everyone to use lube, that would be amazing. And then also just know that yes, vaginal estrogen, whether you have a history of breast cancer in your family, they have shown now after many, many years that every woman will benefit from vaginal estrogen. So finding a good hormone doctor or your gynecologist to give you some vaginal estrogen so you have that safety of knowing there'll be enough lubrication and without pain. That would be
I was going to add also to Sam, if and you'll probably agree, Emily, that just having a hormone panel in general, because you probably need a combination of estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. I mean, probably.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. For that helps. That is the trio and getting a hormone panel. And the other great thing is there's all these clinics now that are online, like MIDI Health or My Alloy, or there's a lot of companies that you can find that what I love is that now hormone panels help, but they're also just treating symptoms. So if you called and said, I'm a woman of this age and I've had some hot flashes or night sweats, they actually will say it's a combination of progesterone and estrogen, and in some cases they'll throw in testosterone, and that is a magical trio for so many. Yeah,
Sam, I hope you get out there and start dating.
Yeah, yes, I love this. Sam.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thanks for calling.
Talking you're amazing, Kelly. Take care.
All right, bye, Sam. Thanks.
Bye.
Okay, next we have Danielle from New Jersey. Danielle, you're on with Dr. Emily.
Hi,
Hey,
Dr. Emily. Hi, Kelly.
Hi.
I wanted to let you know, Kelly, I met you on our birthday this year. We're the birthday New Jersey girls.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I was at your
It's
show.
around the corner.
I was at your
It's
show.
around the corner.
Yeah. Well, I celebrated my 54th with you because we were both 54 that day.
Well, tell us your sex question for Dr. Emily.
Okay. Well, first I have a comment, Kelly. You changed my life, I have to tell you. I'm with my husband 38 years. I still desire him just the way you are with your husband. And we've always had a great sex life. And since my late 40s, I had like no will. It was dry. It was painful. I didn't want it. It was awful. And I felt horrible because I still desire him and I wanted him to know that, but it was just awful. So then I hit menopause and the doctor put me on progesterone and estrogen. And that helped greatly with the hot flashes. However, it did not help the libido at all. And you were talking to someone, it may have been doctor, on your show, and you made one little comment, and you'd never even said why. You just said, testosterone changed my life. Yes. I heard that, and it was like something clicked in my brain that, oh my God, that's what men have, testosterone, and they're horny as hell. So I went to a new gynecologist, and I asked her about the testosterone, and she put me on it, and I'm back. I am suddenly back. I'm 54.
We love that. Welcome back.
That's why they call her Horny Danielle from New Jersey.
Well, since that day that I was put on it, my husband touches me. It's like the floodgates open, and here I am.
Yep. I hope Sam from Chicago is listening to this.
I know. Right.
Yeah, I hope Sam is still listening. Danielle, do you have any other questions for Dr. Emily?
I do. So in my early 40s, I did hit my peak, and I was having multiple orgasm through, oral sex with hands and all. And now that has stopped, and I want to know how I get that part back.
Okay. Well, what has changed? So you have the hormones and you haven't seen a difference right then. And how were you having those multiple orgasms? Was it through penetration? Were you one of the lucky ones, or was it through oral? Tell me about it.
I can reach it. I can reach it through vaginal. However, I know you have to get past that sensation that you feel like you're going to urinate, but I can't. Mm-hmm. It gets to me. So instead, I'm better off with just oral with hands.
Okay. So what you're saying is, do you have the first orgasm now, but you just can't get to the second one?
Right.
Okay. Well, a great way to do it is, first off, here's the thing about sex, which I love. So much of it is we get in our heads. You're thinking, well, it used to happen. So at one time now, maybe perhaps you didn't have that second one or third one. And now you're like, this is my new condition. And what I would invite you is, after you have the first, just to stop for a second and breathe into your body and move that energy through your pelvic floor. Just imagine it going down there and bringing it back up and like staying in your arousal, because that's what's so much about having the multiple orgasms is staying with that energy and that like liminal space. And then just knowing that it's it is possible for it to happen again. And whether you have to bring in a toy, I'm a huge fan of toys, a little bit vibration to get you going, or your own hands, and even practicing on your own. I think you're going to see that it didn't go away. It's not that it's not possible, but who knows, maybe why it's stopped. I mean, I don't know. Also, so that's one thing. I would just say, know that it's possible again. Like, I'm here for you, Danielle. I know it's going to happen. And then also exploring, has anything changed? Have you started new medications? A lot of times people go on, an antidepressant or anxiety medication, and that could really impact our ability to have orgasms.
All right, Danielle, thank you so much for the call. We have to take a commercial break. We'll be back with Dr. Emily Morse. We'll take a break right now. We are back with sex expert and host of the podcast, Sex with Emily. Dr. Emily Morse is here. Jan, who do we have on the line now?
We have Jerry from California on the line.
Jerry from California. Wow. Jerry from California, you're on with Dr. Emily.
Hey, actually, it's Jerry from New York. I mean, I'm in New York right now. Actually, first time caller, second time guest. I was a guest.
Hi, Jerry. Hi, Jerry O'Connell. Guys, hey, everybody. Jerry O'Connell, we have a celebrity calling in with a sex question for Dr. Emily. Go ahead, Jerry.
Dr. Emily, thanks. By the way, this is really, the phone line's supposed to be going off the hook because I had to call the second, when I have a rule, whenever I hear the term mutual masturbation on a radio show, boom, I'm calling in.
Welcome.
But my question has nothing to do with mutual masturbation. My spouse and I are in our very early 50s, very, very early 50s. And it's so funny. My wife just wants sex all the time. My wife wants sex continually, and I'm not able to give it to her all that she wants. Isn't that true, honey? No, you can't curse. You can't curse.
No, she can curse.
I can?
Yeah, you can.
Oh gosh.
Hi, Rebecca.
No, actually, a question we have. I don't know. Our kids are about to leave the house. Is there anything we can do once the kids, because they're getting ready to get out of high school and stuff? Is there anything we should do to maybe spice up our lives when they're out of the house?
Yes. Well, congratulations on that. So it's a whole new world. Absolutely. Okay. Well, the first thing is, I'm going to say it again, communication is lubrication. I know you guys have been together a long time, but have you had any of the sex talks where you actually, talk about maybe some fantasies, some things you want to try, a little review of the past? What have we loved in the past? What could our future sex life look like? And I got to say, one thing that couples love, I have this thing, Jerry, called a yes, no, maybe list. It's a free guide. You can been downloaded probably almost 1 million times now from my website in 20 years. It's sexwithemily.com. Yes, no, maybe list. So the yes, no, maybe list has about 100 different sex acts. This is your next date night. Okay. And it has I'll start mild, like kissing, Is it a yes? Is it a no? Is it a maybe? It's a little quiz you both take. Talking dirty. Yes, no, maybe. What you can imagine all the things on the list. And then you come together and you compare. Like, I didn't know you wanted me to tie you up or to spank me, and it's a really fun foreplay date night activity.
Just as a quick rundown, will you just give us a list right now? We'll just quickly answer.
Okay, ready? Okay. Anal. Yes, no, maybe.
Oh, no.
What do you mean? No anal, Jerry?
Receiving or giving, Jerry?
No butt stuff. Never butt stuff.
Actually, no, I don't like anal either.
Okay.
Let's start.
Okay, good.
And we'll just quickly answer yes, no.
Okay, dirty talk.
Dirty talk? Yeah.
Yes.
Bad girl, Rebecca. You're bad girl. Look at you. Look at this lady of the night that I'm running into here in Calabasas. I see you on the street flaunting your wares. Yeah, I'll buy it.
There's always room for improvement.
Okay.
Next question.
Next question.
Role play.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, milady. I am a knight here in Southern California. I'm here to save the princess from the evil dragon and have anal sex with you.
I'm a female pirate.
Let's
You lost her at anal there. I'm tracking.
You lost her at anal.
Okay, sex toys.
Sex toys, yeah.
Really?
Yes, that's a quick yes.
Oh, wow.
Okay, this is great.
Jerry,
This is
yes
great.
for Rebecca and a really for Jerry.
Okay,
What kind of toys?
let's see what else.
Or what are we talking here?
No, Jerry sees them laying around because I just leave them laying around.
Whoa.
Uh,
Like, what kind of sex toys? Like shoots ladders, parchi? What kind of toys?
Jerry doesn't know anything about them. He doesn't even recognize them when I leave them laying around.
He thinks they're objet d'art. Yes.
He thinks they're dog toys.
Yeah.
Dog toys.
I've had many cases of dogs eating toys. This happens. Okay, how about taking a bath together?
Oh, yeah. We do that. We've been doing that since day one.
We do that.
Yeah.
Okay, love it. Tying each other up.
Yeah, that's happened.
Tying each other up.
Yes. Remember in Mexico?
It was a joke. We jokingly
Honestly,
did it.
it was so fun. Yes, we've done that.
We jokingly did it, but Rebecca left me there for 2 days.
No.
It was really unfunny because I was like...
Opposite. Jerry left me tied up for so long, and he kept just staring out at the view and laughing maniacally. It was very strange. But I loved it.
2 extra nights at Las Ventanas.
Not a bad way to go, right? Las Ventanas. Let's see what else. Okay, more. What do we got here?
We've got to. You know what,
okay.
Jerry and Rebecca, I'm going to leave you guys on the line because we have a bona fide sex question from Lisa from Wisconsin. Will you stay on the line, you two?
Of course. We will stay on the line. Yes.
All right. Emily, we have Lisa from Wisconsin. Hi, you're on with Dr. Emily.
Hey, Lisa.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
What's your question?
I have an issue with my husband wanting anal sex, and I don't want to. Been there, done that. And he very much is in favor of that, and I'm not really sure how to. I don't think you can really compromise that.
Okay, so you're a hard no. Yeah, has it anything that you've ever tried before?
Yes, with him.
And you just didn't. Okay. And have you ever tried?
But for the record, he's Greek.
Okay.
So maybe it's true. They have a reputation for that being one of their preferences.
I don't know if there's anything true across the board, but I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. And so I want to make, have you ever explored, because people think anal sex has to mean one thing. I'm just curious, have you ever explored anything like a finger or a mouth, like just not going full on, but have you? Yeah?
Yeah, not really my thing. And I had C-section, so I'm good to go.
You got some pain,
I've always
okay.
been. I mean, I'm sorry, nothing's changed down there.
Well, this is, okay. It's just not your thing. And he's persistent. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it's like, extremely much the same as always was, good to go. So, but he doesn't drop it. And I'm just like, well, you know what? Let me do it to you and then we'll talk.
Right? Ask him what his takes are on it. You know what I mean? I mean, there's so much misunderstanding here, but men have a prostate and they can feel amazing when penny. They just don't know it, right? Like a lot of straight guys are like, oh no, that's just for exiting. I'm like, but have you tried it? So I actually love that school of thought. You're onto something. The second thing would be to turn to him and say, you know what? I hear there's so much passion behind us trying anal sex together. Could you tell me more about that? Like what is it about it that gets you turned on, you know? And so then he could say, oh, I just think it's something new. It's something that we've never done before. Well, then we have more information, right? And then you could say, well, what else could we try? Cut to the yes, no, maybe list, perhaps, and saying like, you know, maybe there's something else fun we could try. But I think Albert's got a question for you too here.
I mean, so I understand there's a benefit with anal sex with a man because there's the prostate. And like you said, there's an actual reason why people enjoy it. But with women, is there anything?
It's a great question. So I think the thing is, there are some really sensitive nerve endings, and there's when you have penetration into the anus for a woman, it's actually could be indirect stimulation to the clitoris. There's thin membrane that's separating the two areas. So for some women, it's sort of bumping up against their G-spot, essentially. And so that can feel great. And also just even externally around the sphincter muscles, there's also some nerve endings. So, and also there's the taboo around it. There's a lot of things that could be really a turn on if you go slow, use lots of lube. The problem with anal is that for many women, they had it and it just didn't feel great. It was done without lube. It was kind of forced upon them in a way that like, oh, this is how you do it because that's how I saw it in porn. And it actually doesn't feel that good. So that's why I suggested starting with fingers or a mouth, because sometimes when we go slow and we breathe and we have all the time in the world, we might find that, oh, actually, it does feel pretty good.
And I'm thinking, Lisa, you know, maybe with your husband, it's the thrill of the hunt. I mean, there is something to that. Men are like explorers in that way. And maybe it's just, I don't know what else to say besides that. That was the end of my thought.
Guys are obsessed with it just because it's so much tighter. Is that the whole thing? Right?
Yeah, it's tighter. It's different. It's taboo. It's different. But no, to Kelly's point, that's why it's interesting to say, hey, what is it about it? Because it might just be, well, we've never done that before. We've done everything else. You're like, have we? And then we give him the yes, no, maybe list. Or then we think of other ways that he could have that same kind of thrill and newness. Because there's a lot of different ways to play than besides anal if he is seeking that sort of something new and different and taboo. You could have sex outdoors. You could role play. You could do a lot of different things to get the same effect of what he might think he wants from anal. But if it's a no-go for you, it's a no. It's closed. End of story. It doesn't need to happen.
All right, Lisa. Thanks for calling.
Thanks, Lisa.
Okay.
We have Alicia from Pennsylvania on. Alicia, hi. You're on with Dr. Emily.
Hi, Alicia.
So happy to be on with you guys. I love you, Kelly and Emily. I wanted to ask a question about what are some simple things you could do to make sex better? Like I'm in my late 40s and I'm just looking for some little hacks to make it better.
Okay.
Are you on the treadmill right now?
Are you having sex right now?
I'm riding my Peloton.
Okay, you are. You heard it.
A woman after my own heart.
I know, right? Some ways she's multitasking. Some ways to make it great. I mean, are you in a relationship right now? Are you married?
Yes, I'm married.
Okay.
Yes, we have 3 children. Yes.
Okay, so you got your hands full there. I think, one of the big things is we crave variety, right? You're having sex with the same person in the same bedroom, looking at the same ceiling, maybe the same pile of laundry in the room. This happens over time and we become a little bit bored of that. So switching it up in the smallest ways. We think that the sex has to be a huge different thing, but it could be a different room, a new position, even just changing the lighting or the music or a new playlist, or you're doing it in the living room instead of the bedroom. Novelty is going to trigger that reward center in your brain, and that can also help your libido. So that's one way to mix it up. Is just literally just thinking, what can we do? It could be a new bottle of lube, something like that. I love creating like a no tech touch zone where like you turn your phones off and you spend 15 minutes a night just sort of touching each other in different ways that you never have. One person gets to touch and receive, and then the other person gets to receive. And it doesn't go any further than touch. You're not bringing in penetration. You're not bringing anything else. And this is how we get back to that early stage of discovery and, the physical sensation without the pressure to move into sex. Because I feel like that's what happens, why sex gets so rote for many people. It's because it always looks the same. So I love sort of discovering each other's bodies again.
And there's not enough foreplay. Is that right? Like there's just not enough.
There's not enough foreplay. No, especially when you got kids and you're busy and you've been with someone a long time. You're like, let's get it over with, and you move on to the next. And so I think especially for women, but for all of us, we do crave that intimacy and that connection and that building up again for the arousal. So sometimes I tell couples, take the pressure of penetration off the table and just kiss again. Just have a night of just making out, right? Making out for 5 minutes and like, that's all you can do tonight. Or maybe it's stealing a morning kiss when the day gets going. So you're sort of, I always used to say like foreplay all day, right? Or foreplay starts after the last orgasm. So what can you do to keep your pilot lights lit and to keep that arousal flowing throughout the day?
That's really helpful. Thank you both so much.
You're so welcome.
So much good for everyone.
Alicia, thanks so much.
Thanks,
and
Alicia.
Enjoy the rest of your Peloton ride. We've got Christine from Long Island who's on now. Christine, what's your question for Dr. Emily?
Hi, question for you guys. What is the current status on the 3-date rule if you're back new in the dating scene?
The 3-date rule. Are you referring to the rule that you wait 3 dates to have sex?
Yes. And if you're very nervous about doing that with someone new, like it's hard after a long time to go back in and figure out what the expectations are at this point.
You know what? Here's what I say. I say you get to make your own rules. I'm never one who's like, here's the rule and you got to follow this protocol. I've never been that person. I think you get to decide what feels good to you. So how many dates feel good to you?
It's like you have to figure it out, like if you have the connection with the person. But I do feel that there is an expectation that, okay, if you don't want to kiss on the first date, fine. But second date, a kiss is expected. And then the third date, it's like, I'm nervous to jump back in that pool. And that's like historically been the 3-date rule.
Yeah, I think it's all about listening to yourself and what feels good to you. And a lot of it is about, because, we often think like, what do they want or what are they expecting? But once we go, what does my body actually want? Do I feel safe with this person? Am I turned on with this person? Do I just want to make out with them and see how that goes for a few dates? I think we often put so much pressure on ourselves, like the sex has to happen or they're going to not be with me or there's an expectation. And I say, if someone has any expectations around you and you're feeling like you have to do it, to sort of perform or fulfill their needs, and maybe it's not your person. So I always say back to like, what do you actually want? And I say, if you want to have sex earlier than that or later than that, it's all okay.
Yeah. And right? Christine, if you're with somebody and you find him super hot and you're super into him, I think that will be your guide, right?
Yeah.
100%.
Listen to what you want.
You guys. It's tough out there, so I appreciate this advice.
I know it is.
We're with you, Christine.
It's not fun. I'm telling you, it's tough, but just keep doing you. Really, listen to what you need.
Great advice, Dr.
Thanks,
Emily.
Christine.
Thanks for calling, Christine. All right, we've got to take another commercial break. I know, callers, we are trying. We'll be back with more Dr. Emily Morse. Stick around. We are back. That's right. Back with more sex talk with the host of the podcast, Sex with Emily, Dr. Emily Morse. You've given us such great insight. It's been very, very informative. Jan, what say you? You had something on your mind.
Yeah, I was asking, I know there's obviously the G spot, but are there other spots or something?
Yes, there are so many spots, everybody. So here's the thing. So we have the G spot. So the G spot we know, and there's all this debates like, is there actually is the G spot real? Yes, it is real. But there's also an A spot, which is farther back than the G spot. And that's on the deep front vaginal wall. And this is near the cervix. So you can stimulate it with like curved toys, and that can lead to like longer lasting orgasms. There's also we know about the clitoral orgasm, then there's like an anal prostate adjacent orgasm. So some women they could have orgasms through anal sex, because it's sort of stimulation around or inside of the anus, especially when combined with clitoral play, women can have a blended orgasm. So that can be really fun for women to have a blended one. There's also the blended between the clitoral orgasm and the G-spot. Now, my take is that all these areas are sort of combined, that they're just internal clitoral nerves, and that we have so many nerve endings that we haven't quite explored. We had a lot of research into male sexual organs, but not necessarily female sexual pleasure. And so there's just a lot of ways to play as long as we breathe and go slow and give ourselves time to explore. For many of us, we haven't even, scratched the surface of what's possible.
Jana's so competitive, she's going to find the entire alphabet of spots inside of her body tonight. Tomorrow, we're going to hear the full alphabet come out of Jana.
Oh, I'm tuning in. Don't worry.
Yeah. For sure. Albert, go ahead.
Emily, open relationships.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot. I would say my partner and I are in the minority that we're in a closed relationship, but so many of our friends are in open relationships. And I find it to be very dangerous. And I also, but yet I understand why it works, because I think after, biologically, after a certain amount of time, you're no longer attracted to the other person, and it's all societal. But like, what's your
I mean, here's my thing about it. And I love that we're all talking about it more these days, for sure. And it's not for everybody. I mean, here's what I have to say. For many people, we know those people, monogamy just doesn't work for them. For whatever reason, they're like always thinking about being with somebody else, and it doesn't work. So it's just great to know that it's actually okay to choose consensual non-monogamy if that works for you. And it is becoming more mainstream. And I think more couples are talking about this. And it doesn't mean that monogamy is bad. It just means that we're getting curious about other ways to play. And really the thing about non-monogamy, people are thinking, oh my God, it means that you're just having sex all the time. It's just an excuse to be banging a bunch of people. But really it's more about communication than it is about chaos. And it really only works with the couples where you have clear agreements, a lot of trust, and a whole lot of talking. So in my mind, and I've seen this before, this is where it doesn't work. Well, we're really bored with ourselves. Our sex life is kind of down the tubes. Let's open it up to spice it up and fix the relationship. That never works. It has to come from a clear place of, we've been together a long time. We trust each other, and we're both really curious what it would like to be someone else. And we know that we are in a safe place, and this could actually be an evolution of our sex life. So it's really for the couples who are realizing that one person can't fulfill all of our needs. So it could mean emotional openness. It could be, more flirty energy with somebody else, or just a shared fantasy. Like my partner would be like, I do not want to tie you up, Emily. I will never tie you up. I'm like, okay, well, I found this person who will do that, right? So there's a lot of different ways to work on that in a relationship. And there's something called compersion, which is a word that I just love, not as commonly known, but couples who succeed in consensual non-monogamy are couples who compersion means you actually are getting pleasure. You actually get deep pleasure from knowing that your partner's having pleasure. Like, yeah. So that is possible.
Jana's writing down the word compersion, right?
Emily, of successful couples that have done it, what are the rules that you think make the most sense?
Here's the great thing is that I think the rules are, it's different couple. I find so many couples spend a lot of time drafting their rules, and then again, they come back and they revisit them. Okay, well, at first I thought I wanted to know everything, for example, like you have to tell me everything. And then they realize, you know what? I don't need to know all the details. So that's one thing. Couples say, like, I want to know everything. It can't be with anybody we know. It has to be only when we're traveling. There can't be a sleepover. I don't want it to be with someone that you see twice, right? It has to be just a one-off thing. You have to always use protection. There's just a lot of things. You can never kiss.
So the ground rules have to be really laid out. Also,
very much.
You need to be, I read this article, maybe you wrote it, Dr. Emily. I'm not sure. It was for New York Magazine. It was a couple of years ago. And these non-monogamous, consensual non-monogamy couples, their schedules are so intense. I don't know how these people actually work and live in the universe, because just the way their schedules break up, and who's taking the house and who's going outside of the house, and it is like a scheduling. It's like a marvel to conceptualize. I don't know how they do it. I got exhausted reading the article.
I've seen some of those people. I've had some couples on my show. Like, we have a Google shared calendar, and it was like the most insane thing I've ever seen. And then they share it with like 11 other people. I mean, I'm lucky if I could just get myself out the door, right? Like executive functioning. Like, you're like, oh my God, I got to schedule who I have sex with. But yeah, it's a lot of talking. People think it's a lot of having sex. It's really just a lot of communication, a lot of like what night works for you.
It's a lot of showing each other your shared documents.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of Google shares, it's a lot of.
Okay. So, Emily, we have Tommy in New York. Tommy, you're on with Dr. Emily. What's your question?
Hi, Tommy.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Okay, so
what's up, Tommy?
This is for Kelly. Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, this is Kelly here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay, good. So this message is for Kelly. She grew up in the 70s, and she remembers driving old cars. She had a Cadillac. She had a Firebird.
Yeah, I'm here. You're talking to me. You're talking to me.
Oh, okay, great. Do you remember having to rev up the engine a lot?
Rev up the engine? Is this like a porno question? I'm not following Tommy.
It is. No,
all right, Tommy. Do you have a question for Dr. Emily? If not, we're going to pull the plug.
No, don't pull the plug. Do you know that that's a part of a foot fetish? That's why.
Oh, God, he's a foot fetish guy, Tommy.
Yes, so a lot of guys are.
I know
Emily,
that.
what do you think of foot fetishes?
What do you think of foot fetishes?
I think it's common. Hey, listen, it's probably one of the most, common fetishes, right? So good. I think if you have a foot fetish and you communicate it clearly with your partners and you don't have shame or trauma or embarrassment around it, it's a good way to go.
Emily,
what turns you on.
Emily, I have been cursed with a perfect rating on WikiFeed. And so I'm not
Blessing
getting
and a curse, Kelly. Blessing and a curse.
We've got another caller, Kelly B in New York City. Kelly B, you're on with Dr. Emily. What's your question?
Hey, Kelly.
Is she on?
Kelly B, are you on? Okay, did we lose Kelly B?
Maybe.
Oh, that's too bad.
What about, we have Jeremiah in Port Washington. Let's go to Jeremiah.
Jeremiah in Port Washington, you're on. Hi.
Hey, Dr. Emily and Kelly. Really nice talking to you guys. Thanks for answering my call.
Of course. What's your question?
My question was, me and my wife have been married for about 10 years, and we have 2 children, and I would say since our first child, who is 7 years old, our sex life is kind of, it's been a little rocky and just not as exciting. Do you have any advice for kind of how to spice it up or, get us back into a place where we kind of are excited about doing it? I mean, obviously we both love each other and there's still a level of attraction there, but we just don't have the motivation after, 2 kids and a lot of stress every day.
I love that you brought this up, Jeremiah. Thanks for this, because honestly, we got to normalize the fact that when you have 2 kids, young kids, and you've given birth, and you got a baby, and your whole body changes, and you got a lot of responsibility and a lot going on. Sometimes our sex life is always good. That's the normal. Let's normalize the fact that it's going to be harder to prioritize sex, and things are going to change. So I'm wondering, Jeremiah, have you talked to your wife about what might be interesting to her? It might be a foot rub or something, like, who knows, some help around the house or something like that to get her going again. Have you guys had to talk about it?
Yeah, she's definitely said if I help clean up around the house, she would be more excited. That's
how's that going?
Well, ironically, that's the opposite of my fetish, but
right. Yeah. But here's the thing. I know it's a joke, right? The hottest thing is like you vacuuming, but the truth is we really there's so much stress and pressure, and the way our women's arousal works is really different than men's, right? We have something called responsive desire instead of spontaneous. Like, you probably see your wife and you're like, oh my God, I'm ready to go. And you walk in the room and she's like, I'm finishing the laundry here, changing a diaper. And so knowing that you are contributing and vacuuming and emptying the dishwasher and doing things around the house might actually be the thing that calms her nervous system, so she can actually even start thinking about having room to have sex again, to want to have sex again. So I would get out that wet mop tonight, see how that goes. And also Jeremiah, date night. Got to prioritize date night.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. A little bit of conscientiousness on your part goes the longest way, because I get it. Trust me. you guys are in it right now. You've got young kids, you are in it. But any little act of helping out and doing some of the lifting around the house will really, it's called chore play. It's beyond foreplay. Chore play really turns a woman on. So I hope that was helpful, Jeremiah.
Thanks, Jeremiah.
Thank you.
And don't forget, I with short play, I've never heard that before. I'm obsessed. Is that also it's really date night is like, so people are like, oh, date night. No, it actually works. Couples there's been so many studies that have shown if you prioritize Jeremiah one night for you guys where it is a non-negotiable, you get a babysitter, you turn off the phones, you leave the house, that will do wonders for your relationship because then it's giving you space and time out of the home.
Totally agree. I've got to tell you, this was so fun. We need to do more with Dr. Emily. I know you have your own podcast, but you have to do our podcast.
I love it. No, this is a blast.
Yeah, it was really fun. And make sure you check out Emily's podcast, Sex with Emily. Her book is called Smart Sex, How to Boost Your Sex IQ and Own Your Pleasure. This has been so much fun. Thank you, callers. You were all amazing today. You really brought your A games, and I can't wait to talk with y'all off camera next week. Bye, everybody. Let's Talk Off Camera with Kelly Ripa is a production of Melojo Productions. From Melojo, our team is Kelly Ripa, Mark Consuelos, Albert Bianchini, Jan Chalet, Seth Gronquist, Ross Therian, Devin Schneider, Michael Halpern, Julia Desch, and Team Radio Andy, Lisa Mantaneo, Scott Marlowe, Jake Getz.